I love getting back to nature, but like most people, I try to avoid getting bogged down with my four-wheel drive. But occasionally, it even happens to the most cautious amongst us. And when it does happen, there are traditionally a few options to get me out of trouble. Could use my trusty old winch, but when you're stuck on the beach, there aren't usually any trees close by to winch off. And burying the spare wheel in the sand as an anchor point is just way too much work. I guess I could play damsel in distress and wait for a knight in shining armour to rescue me with a snatch strap. No, I don't think so. An increasingly popular vehicle extraction choice is the use of sand ladders, also known as recovery tracks. They come in many shapes, materials and sizes and are wedged in under the wheels to provide extra traction. The problem with most of them is that they're quite bulky and take up heaps of space inside or on top of your vehicle. And more often than not, they aren't required at all. So all that space could have been used for camping gear instead. Or even worse, they get left at home when in fact they would have been needed. And that's where our multi-purpose tracks, or Muputrax, come in. Because they serve many different purposes, you'll never feel like you're carrying dead weight again. They come in a variety of sizes and colours. And just like all the other recovery tracks, they can be used to provide extra traction when you're stuck in sand, snow or mud. Muddy hill climbs become a lot easier too. And you can daisy chain them together to cover longer sections. They weigh only a few kilograms, but are strong enough to provide a bridge across gaps and obstacles. Don't try this with one of these. In contrast to other sand ladders on the market, Muputrax don't require nodules for extra grip. These nodules get all too easily shorn off by accidental wheel spin. Instead, Muputrax feature a grained surface on one side, which increases traction. And the grid structure provides plenty of contact surface for the tyres to grip into. But that's only just the start of it. Unlike conventional recovery tracks, Muputrax come with our patented leg kit, which quickly converts the unit into a complete dining setting consisting of bench and table. The padding layer makes them clean and comfortable to sit on, even if you use the tracks in a recovery minutes earlier. Combine 2 Muputrax sets to easily seat the whole family. I usually throw a towel on top of the bench and cover the table with a cloth. Our storage bag cleverly separates into 2 halves, which can then be used for the same purpose. Ever struggled having dinner in chairs like these? Well, not anymore. The leg design prevents the bench and table from sinking into soft sand, for instance on the beach. On cold nights around the campfire, simply place a few coals under your Muputrax bench, for your very own seat heating. I know of someone who thinks that's a great idea. The bench also serves as a step stool, making unloading your roof racks or operating a roof tent a lot more comfortable. The Velcro straps that keep the bench padding in place also help locate potentially submerged tracks after recoveries. The darker ones are ideal for bright surfaces such as sand and snow, whereas the yellow ones give better contrast in mud. Turning the table around and running the straps across converts the unit into a clothesline. The tracks by themselves can be used instead of levelling ramps to easily level a roof tent, caravan or camper trailer. They double up as a base for high lift and normal jacks on unstable ground. Other recovery track manufacturers stress that their products cannot be subjected to these kinds of pressures, and you'll lose your warranty if you do. Our tracks can also be used as ramps to load bikes, buggies, motorcycles, or even small boats. You can create a small camp path on rainy days, or a shower base if you don't like standing in the mud. How about a stand for your fridge, esky, or generator? This happy camper seems to have found a new favourite spot too. I'm sure you'll come up with many more ideas on how to use our multi-purpose recovery tracks. Make no mistake, this is a sturdy product, far more so than many of the recovery tracks most commonly sold. Muputrax are made from the same fibre-reinforced polymers that are used in heavy-duty industrial flooring applications. All fittings are made of the highest quality materials too. Surgical-grade stainless steel and marine-grade aluminium ensure many years of uncompromised service, even in the unforgiving Australian climate. We back this up with our 3-year warranty. Over the years, you will most certainly get more usage out of your multi-purpose tracks compared to other recovery devices. Just look at the amount of bulky gear they substitute and the amount of space that you'll be saving in your car. Recovery tracks, ground cover, clothesline, chairs and table, a step stool, and levelling ramps. Looks familiar? And you haven't even packed your esky yet. Now compare this with 1 or 2 sets of Muputrax. And if you think about it, most of these products don't get used at the same time anyway. So, you'll use your multi-purpose tracks as a traction device when driving to or from your campsite, as a step stool whilst setting up or striking camp, as a bench and table during the day, and maybe to level your roof tent or caravan at night time. Instead of buying many different items that only get used a few times or not at all during your camping trips, you'll be saving heaps of money by putting your Muputrax to work plenty of times instead. Let's face it, most of us prefer not to get bogged down when we're out and about. So, in all likelihood, you'll be utilising your Muputrax a lot more in non-recovery capacities. But it's reassuring to know that they're there to get you out of trouble when needed, especially when they're in a similar or lower price range compared to other recovery tracks. Happy camping, everyone!